Hey guys, what's up? This is Inventor Boy 16, and this is part 2 of my two-part series of my portable generator completely finished, or fully finished now. So it's finally done, guys. So yeah, but this is part 2. So I'll kick off where we left off, where I was showing you the terminal blocks here, which this one has the switches in there, and then this little silver tap-out terminal thing here. This protects them so they don't get smashed up by the side of the inverter. And they protect the switch terminals and makes it so I can't spark them or anything. And then I have this, which keeps my wires clean from that one side, because there's a lot of wires that come off this one side. So all those wires are shoved up inside here. So it keeps them clean. But I'm going to take the inverter off, and I'm going to show you some of the other mods I made to the inside of the generator. And just get it unplugged. Sorry about the shakiness. There we go. So I can just lift the inverter up and out. I can just lay it gently like that on the ground, and the wires hold it up so it doesn't fall completely on the ground. And then I remove this cover here, and you see I have these quick disconnects connected to the battery system and all the terminals and wires. I'm not going to take any of them apart because it's all nice and flat and nice. So yeah, but I labeled the batteries. This one's battery 2. Of course, we have battery 1 right here. Ugh, my gosh. Okay. And this one's battery 1. I don't think you can see it, but battery 1. So, yeah, but I marked them, and I put on these new quick disconnects, so if I want to, I can take out the batteries for something else if I need them. So that makes it a little bit more convenient with that. And if I put the inverter back in, which everything now runs a lot more smoothly, like taking the inverter out, putting it in, and stuff like that, it goes a lot more easily and it's a lot more smooth when it comes to doing these functions because of how I have it. Whoa! Okay, I hope I didn't destroy my fan there, but because of how I have it set up, it's a lot more easier to control and be able to use the system. So I have this nice little inverter up here, and this one, when it starts up, it beeps to tell you. If you leave it on and it starts it up, then it beeps to tell you that there's power going to it. If I turn the master on, and the rest of it's on, so if I turn it on, you'll hear a really loud beep. This one's the loudest one of all 4 of them. This one, I don't really know how loud it is, but you know, it's broken right now, so I have to work on it. But this one by far I think is the loudest, so I'll turn it on and I will show you guys how loud it is. And you see it fires up quite quickly, and then it's the power. So I'm going to disconnect the light that's being beamed on here and actually use this. Alright, it's about to get bright again. There you go. There you go, it's nice and bright again. So this little guy here, and the reason I installed this guy, if you guys didn't catch it in my last video, is this guy, he's a 140 watt inverter, so he's a lot more low powered. So he puts out less wattage, but he consumes less wattage. So if I'm not running my full-blown room or anything like that, or something huge, I can just run this guy, and he can power my lighting or my laptop or something. But if I need more than 140 watts, I got my 400 watt inverter inside. So it's quite nice having this. So it's a little bit dinged up. It has quite a bit of scratches and dents and stuff on it, but like I said in my last video, and I'll say in this video, I got this from my dad's friend, so it was a donation he gave to me. So seeing he knows how much I use these types of electronics, so he gave me this guy. So, and he gave me the red one, if you haven't seen that one. But yeah, so I use this one on top, and this one fits perfectly on there, so it makes it it looks a lot cooler with this one on top, and it's a lot more easier access. And then, you know, it's just a lot more grand. So yeah, so I'll give you a demonstration of all the ports working. So right now the 12 volt port is working. the one that's powering this little guy. Seeing he's plugged into the 12-volt socket there. Turn on my regular inverter. That little, if you saw that little flicker of light, that's because my other inverter is turning on. You see a little green light in there. Turn him off. His beep lasts longer, but he's nowhere near as loud as this guy. This guy is extremely loud. But, you know, it's pretty nice. So that runs, and I'll show you the fan. Fan runs. So it runs pretty well. It's a very decent generator, I would have to say. And I put the platform on here using a bunch of swivel chair, like one of those like desk chairs, like the one over there. I don't think you can see it, but I used one of the some of the desk chair parts that I have, and I used them to be able to make it so this thing rolls instead of has to be picked up all the time. Because if it rolls, it's easier to use. It's a little bit less dangerous. And you won't have as much of a likelihood of destroying it, so. But yeah. And I'm also going to do a little bit of a review of my Cobra inverter. This one I got from my parents. This guy is a Cobra 400 watt inverter. Very beautiful coloring. I love the coloring. It's a very decent size in comparison to my PowerBrite, and the reason I don't have this one in there instead, seeing that this one's a 400 watt and it's smaller, is the PowerBrite has a lot more safety features. This one only has a fuse on the. This one doesn't have any fuses or anything for emergency overload or anything like that. So this one, if you overvolt this thing too much, it can damage it. So, but the one in there, you can overvolt and it'll cut off, and the fuses will go off and everything. So it's protected, the one in there. And then this one has, you know, the nice ports there, and plenty of ventilation when the fan goes on. And then you have a USB port, which I like that. And the reason I have this one outside is because if I had to have it inside, it would be very hard to control USB control and stuff like that. So, pretty nice little power switch, pretty sturdy. I'll actually give you a bit of a demonstration of it, which, again, the light is going to have to go off. Forgive me. So I'll just cut it off now. And I'll plug it back into the power strip I'm using. The reason I like it dark in here is because whenever I'm doing the videos, this lamp does a very good, nice job of making it stand out. So I'm going to unplug the little Radio Shack inverter, which I absolutely love. It's really a nice quality inverter. Get it unplugged. There we go. And then I'm going to plug in my Cobra 400 watt. I'll be prepared, guys. This one's a pretty. The only thing I don't like about this one is it's very loud when it starts up. The fan like blares up. If I get the stupid port plugged in, there you go. Here running is quite loud. Then once it fires up and calibrates and all that stuff, it shuts up and it's quiet. So there's a very nice fan in there in the back. And the ventilation ports up here and in the front. So it's quite nice. And this one actually has mounting brackets, which I'm quite surprised with because none of the other ones I have, except for this big one here, has mounting brackets. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. And I can use this whenever whenever I want to be able to have something nice to use. I don't want to have to mess with these clunky cords. What I'll do is actually I'm going to make a little rack for these to hook up onto if I'm not using them or something like that, so it'll make it a little bit more nicer. But I use these as tow cable as well because I tow this thing around I pull it using these, which is not a good idea, but I do it. But anyway, this has been part 2 of the 2-part video of my generator. Like I said in my last video, I thought it would have been 3, but I told you guys I wasn't sure, and I said it wouldn't be, most likely wouldn't be. So it is only a 2-part video, but I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Stay cool, YouTube. Bye.